Uh, let us begin with item number one, Pledge of Allegiance. Carolyn, do you want to lead us that? You're closest to the flag.
I pledge allegiance
Allegiance to the flag
Flag of the
United States of
of
America,
and
to the republic for which it
of which it
stands,
stands,
one
one
nation,
nation,
under
under
God,
God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
with
with
liberty and
justice
justice for all.
for all.
Thank you. I'm going to call this meeting to order. Would the secretary please call the roll?
Director Ellis,
Here.
Director Ewald,
Here.
Director Erpenbach,
Here.
Director Carey,
Here.
Director Graves,
Here.
Director Essman.
Here. All the directors being present, this meeting is called to order. Would also participating in this meeting are General Manager Anderson, who's present, Assistant GM Josh Simpson, and our Board Secretary Carolyn Bacher. Do we have any other guests in the room or online?
Not here.
Seeing none, I'm going to dispose then of skip the introduction of guests and participation in meeting language. If somebody joins us later, I'll have to double back on that. So I'll dispense with public items number 5 and then items number 6. Can I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I make a motion to
Practice
approve
raising
the
your hand.
agenda.
Thank you, Director Graves. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
I think Director Ellis jumped in line, so motion by Graves, second by Ellis to approve the agenda. Is there discussion? Seeing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 Aye. Motion passed, agenda approved. Okay, let's move to item number 8, new business. Resolution to approve the general manager job description and posting of the position. So, can I have a motion to put that on the floor, please?
I'll make a motion to put it on the floor.
Thank you, Director Ellis. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Director Ewald. Motion by Ellis, second by Ewald. Is there discussion?
There's been discussion about making it a few minor changes to the job description. So Frank and I and Greg had sort of talked multiple times during the day and maybe thinking going through it point by, like we did with the personnel manual, although this is only several pages and not 30, and just seeing if there's things that we want to change.
Is everybody okay with doing that?
Sounds good.
Okay, so which of the 3 of you on that committee wish to lead that discussion?
Well, I'm happy to do it since I took the notes,
Okay.
although I'm not the chair.
Okay, so I'm going to turn to the description, which is on what page? Page 3 of the agenda packet.
Right.
Would you like me
Okay.
to share that description?
Yes,
I've got it on my computer.
Yeah, why don't you do that, Carolyn, just
Yeah.
so everybody can follow along, and then Pam can ask you to move forward to the next page.
Wait to get a moment to get to the secret spot. So even I don't know where it's at.
There we go.
Okay, thanks. So we started with the draft job description that Bo had prepared and made a few changes down the line. The first change is probably the application deadline. We put that we would prefer applications due by 4 p.m. on Friday, March 13th. If we're gonna have somebody on board by the end of March, it's still pushing it. But we thought that would give us some time to pick up the applications, get through them, and set up interviews in time for a potential April 1st start date. Of course, depending on whether or not the person that we hire is local or has to come from a distance. Are there any concerns about just that change of date? Okay, so for position summary, we didn't change anything. Is there anything that people have seen that they would change on position summary? Okay. So under key responsibilities, I think Bo had originally put down governance and leadership. And in looking at the feedback that Doug sent yesterday, we thought that maybe a more appropriate thing for number 1 would be policy implementation.
As a
Because
title you're speaking of?
As the title of number 1, because that's what most of number 1 deals with. Does anybody have a concern with that change?
So you want to change from where it says governance and leadership to policy implementation?
Right.
Just change that heading?
Yeah.
I'm going to suggest as chair of the meeting that if each change here, we get a motion, a second,
Okay.
and then vote on it, and then we can keep moving if
Okay.
and not have to double back.
Okay, so I will make a motion to change governance and leadership to policy implementation.
Second that motion.
Okay.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nay. Change is adopted.
Okay.
Let's go back to the deadline date change. Catch
That
that?
doesn't, I think that that still shows on yours as March 13th, doesn't it?
That's right.
We
That's-
changed it from Bo's, but not from the one that was in the agenda.
It says, prefer 4 p.m. Friday, March 13th, and that preferred should probably be taken out of there.
I agree. I think that will confuse people. That indicates a late application can come in, and then there could be issues,
Okay.
I think.
I make a motion, we remove the word preferred.
Okay, I'll second it.
Okay, who was the motion?
Ewald,
And
Okay.
Ellis was the
Motion.
second?
Second
Yeah.
was by Ellis. All in
Okay.
favor of the motion, adopting the motion to strike the word preferred, indicate by saying aye.
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 All those opposed, nay. Motion passed.
Okay, thanks. There were some
Sure.
changes in wording to the other things, but we didn't keep track of them. This is the agenda that we sent out to you. Are there any changes that people would like to see under number 2, operations and asset management? So Jeff, if there aren't any changes, can we go to number 3 or?
Yes. I don't
Okay.
think we-
Any changes that people would like to see under regulatory compliance? Okay, number 4, financial management. Any changes? I noticed there's an extra space between administer and rates. That should be taken out. Okay, personnel, number 5, personnel and organizational management.
You scoot your cursor just a little bit.
It, if I go too fast, just tell me that you need more time.
Thanks.
Number 6, public and intergovernmental relations. Number 7, required qualifications. And there's an extra space between work directly too that should be taken out.
I want to discuss item 7, required qualifications.
Okay,
Does this job require a degree in engineering?
No,
no,
because the
Well,
previous
that-
experience may be considered in lieu of degree.
So
you want to
we've
change
got,
it
we're requiring it, but not requiring it.
If they
Okay.
have experience in lieu of degree, yes.
it's a good. So do you want to change it to previous experience will be considered instead of may be considered? Would that,
It reads as preferred but not necessary.
Yeah, that's what I added.
well, no, it's under required qualifications.
Yeah, if you're gonna keep it, the degree, that should go under preferred
Okay,
in my mind.
okay. And what about changing it from previous experience may be to previous experience will be?
How about previous experience in water resources, public administration, business, or closely related fields?
Okay,
I mean, from my perspective, you
okay,
could just combine everything in 7 and 8 under
Yeah,
the heading preferred qualifications,
okay,
and then just have one escape clause down at the bottom.
So,
How would you word that? Previous experience may be considered in lieu of
Agreed.
of preferred qualification.
so
Something
Well-
on that order. What do you think?
if,
you're saying valid driver's license is preferred? I think that's required.
Yeah, we don't want somebody Ubering to every instance.
right,
And with an insurable record besides, so
Yeah.
I think that needs to remain under required qualification.
And just drop the first bullet point to 8.
Yeah,
well, we could just change it to qualifications. And then after valid driver's license, put in parentheses required. Oh, yeah, then it doesn't communicate that the rest are preferred.
I think it,
Well, I think leaving 7 as required and then just having the 2 bullet points would be clearer then.
Okay. So do you want to make that as a motion?
I'll make a motion to drop the first bullet point under required qualifications to number 8, preferred qualifications.
Okay,
Second that.
For discussion, you're only gonna have a required qualification for experience and willingness to work with an elected or appointed board. That's what you're gonna be left with.
and
And
valid
the driver's license.
Oh, and the driver's license.
you
That's
know,
That's not much for requirements.
no,
Do you think you're gonna get somebody?
but
What else would you like to see on there for required?
I think if, like Jeff was alluding to before, combine 7 and 8 for qualifications. And then you can put whatever you want in parentheses right after that statement, required. Like requires valid driver's license with an insurable record.
Can I interject something?
You betcha.
What you might do is combine 7 and 8 in on the required items, put an asterisk, and then below the qualifications, put an asterisk with an explanation of what that is, that those are required.
But Carolyn, that simplifies your job.
I think it's a great idea.
Okay,
Let's
does,
go with that.
why doesn't somebody make a substitute motion, which would be in
Josh
order at this
has
time?
a suggestion he wants to throw out there.
I was thinking if you just say like you were saying, get rid of combine 7 and 8 and just put the word qualifications. Valid driver's license with an insurable record, that's pretty cut and dried. You have to have that. And then the rest of it, like you have there with the degree in engineering or previous experience considered in lieu of degree. It all kind of falls into place if you just put qualifications and then all the bullet points under.
I don't know if you can go along in today's day and age and say people have a valid driver's license, because I'll bet you there's a lot of them that don't.
Well, I guess when the district asks for it and they don't have it, that would disqualify them.
Yeah, my question is, how do they distinguish between? So we have one thing that says it's required, or two things that say they're required. But if we just say qualifications, it implies that everything's essentially required. And if we say they're preferred qualifications, and then there's just some that are required, I mean, me, it's better to leave it the way it is.
But the asterisk would clarify that.
Well,
It doesn't, because
You've
it doesn't
gotta be-
clarify that the others are preferred
well,
and not
I-
required.
I think we have to be reading this in terms of the potential applicants. So that, maybe somebody doesn't check every box, but checks, 5 out of 6 or however many there are that, I think it's important to inform them which items we may be more flexible with and which we may not be. So, that I think the motion on the floor, frankly, is the cleanest way in terms, because this is this is a part of a sales effort. We are trying to sell this position and hope we get somebody that will be interested in filling it. But I think we're safer in that approach, keeping 7 and 8 separate.
Well, and as a committee, you don't have, if you get a application in that doesn't suit your eye test, doesn't necessarily mean you have to bring them in either.
So one of the qualifications we kind of threw around a little bit is are we gonna have them provide a physical so that we don't end up with somebody that's coming there to get workman's comp back surgery or whatever a week or a month after they get employed?
Yeah, we haven't done that, but I do have a number 9 to add. So at this point,
Well,
The motion-
let's,
the
the
motion-
motion before us is to move bullet point 1 under 7 down to 8.
right,
So let's try a vote on that. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, nay.
Did-
Motion
did-
passes. Now,
did we have
a new
did we have
motion
a-
is in
a
order.
motion?
Mhm.
Who was it?
Frank, do you want to make one on a physical? Was there no?
Yeah, I don't know how a guy would word it, but that happens more times. Maybe Greg would have a good idea because he worked in that line of stuff. How would you phrase it, Greg?
Well, the Billings Clinic has a section they call occupational health where they do pre-employment physicals. And that's what I would suggest is to contact the Billings Clinic and do it through that.
St. B's has one also.
Yeah. Well, then, can we just add a bullet point to
That would be-
required qualifications, which would be successfully pass employment physical?
Yep.
Yep, that's all that would be needed.
Add drug screening to that.
Yes.
Yeah, that would should be part of that. Physical,
And I don't think you say successfully pass, but just say pre-employment physical, including drug
Required.
screening.
Well, if they fail, we can't hire them.
Well, I know, but what's the definition of fail and pass? I mean,
Well, there is that law is pretty clear. That comes into the job description in terms of ability
Okay.
to do X, Y, and Z. So
so we say pass pre-employment physical, including drug screening.
ability to pass,
I'm sorry, I missed that, Doug.
ability to pass.
Okay,
then we're going to have to have a description of the bending, lifting, all that kind of stuff.
I actually have that under 9.
Okay.
So
Well,
which
you want it?
doesn't show.
So
But maybe that's the best place to put it.
Do you have it somewhere? You could email it to Carolyn and then she can put it up.
I do. It's Debbie's it's a public works director spot for position for Billings, and it's the last three or four paragraphs of it. So I sent it to the rest of the board, but I didn't send it to Carolyn.
Yeah, because I don't have a number 9.
I think
Right.
she wanted to
Right.
add it.
I just added it today because I was looking at at job descriptions and ran across Debbie Millings that was online.
Carolyn, I'm forwarding it to you now.
Okay, good. That's quicker. And so can we not settle on 7 until we talk about 9? But there's a couple of things on
Well-
8 that I saw.
Let's deal with this since it's up on the screen. Let's deal with this now, and then we can
Okay.
blend it all together after we look at it.
Okay, so it's right at the bottom. Okay, so I made number 9 physical demands and working conditions and basically left it in the way it is, except I didn't think we needed the typical workday involves exposure to one disagreeable element present in modern intensity. I mean, that just seemed, and frequent driving is not required for our position. And then I changed, of course, the city to the district. But I thought it had physical requirements of the job, which I think are pretty much standard for every job description. And I don't know if that's a legal requirement, but I know when we were working on the personnel manual, we sent the job description for service employee to associated employers, and they added physical requirements to that job description. So it seemed important to have it here. And also a really important part I thought was this document does not create an employment contract implied or otherwise. The
Okay,
district
so-
retained. Yeah,
Okay, the way I would see this logically, number 9 would be physical demands and working conditions, and it would be the language it's in the larger font that ends with frequent driving is required.
right. Those last two sentences would not be included in ours, I don't think. Because we don't require frequent driving.
So you want the first paragraph,
I'd like to have that next to last sentence included.
Okay, that's fine. I don't have a problem
Because
with that.
I think the GM should be out in the field a little more. So we could
Okay.
drop the frequent driving as required. The last
Yeah.
3 paragraphs, I like them. I don't
I do
think they
too.
would be in this section, but I think they could be properly included at the bottom of our entire document, and then they would cover, this requirements in our, our duty to, and our ability and duty to be flexible, somewhat flexible.
Yeah. Well, the reason I put it as number 9 was because that's where it was in her job description, and physical demands and working conditions. The last couple of paragraphs are working conditions. That, this job description is not all inclusive. There may be other tasks, other duties as assigned, which used to be standard language for any job description.
I would suggest bumping the 25 pounds to 50. Just if they got to go pick up meters or, some pipe fittings,
Did the general manager, did Bo do that? Does Bo
Bo is not, but I know in the past, like Peyton and Duke did.
Yeah, I don't see that
But-
that's a necessary job requirement with 5-yard guys and
My suggestion is to go to 50 pounds. That's pretty common in descriptions like this.
for
25
management.
pounds. 25 pounds doesn't
Yeah.
get you much. I think mine says
Okay.
75.
Yeah, serviceman says 75. I just.
Well, I can understand. We're talking about, the, if you get, well, I'm going to give a specific example. Perhaps we find an ace, somebody who fills all these positions, but is female, but is of slight build. Does that, you exclude them because they can't, because 50 pounds is pushing it for them to lift? To me, that is nonsensical. That might be, how often does that come up? If it hasn't come up in the last 18 months for our current general manager, I don't think we need to impose it now for the next one. So I'd favor leaving it at 25.
I do too. And also this language was developed by the city, which has an HR department. So, you can feel pretty comfortable that that's all a viable
Okay.
requirement for a management position.
To move this along, I'm going to make a motion to add as number 9 in working conditions, the first paragraph in larger font, deleting the language frequent driving is required. The last 3 statements I do not think belong as part of number 9. So
Okay.
can I get a second?
I'll second it.
You gonna just leave it working conditions or physical demands and working conditions?
Physical demands and working conditions.
So you're eliminating the last 3 paragraphs?
Yeah.
No,
No,
I would
if
add those to our job description.
Okay.
At the
Because you need
bottom.
that one in there in the last sentence in the
Oh,
second paragraph.
I like those. I like those 3.
Okay.
But they are not part of the physical demands and working conditions. I think they need to apply to the whole document. So, any more discussion?
Nope.
All those in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Right?
Aye. Motion passes. Then can I have a motion to add the last three items as a general disclaimer at the bottom of the job description?
I make that motion.
Thank you, Director Graves. Is there a second?
Second.
Who was the second? Ewald?
Frank, yeah.
Thank you, Director Ewald. Is there a discussion? Director Graves, you were making a point about which
No, I just want
paragraph?
to make sure that we don't, that second paragraph there, all requirements are subject to modification, and that one there about
Yes.
handicap and disabilities.
Yeah, I think that's important.
Yeah.
Important language. I agree. Further discussion? All those in favor of adding those disclaimers at the end of the job description indicate by saying aye.
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 Aye. All opposed, nay. Motion passes. Now, Carolyn, can we go back to the original job description on the screen share and
And
discuss?
there's a couple that we're on 8. There's a couple things on 8 that I just caught tonight that I would
On the top.
make a motion to change.
We need to let Carolyn get back to that job
Okay,
screen share before we begin discussion.
okay.
Bobby, thank you for joining us. Would you like an opportunity to speak before we adopt this
I-
resolution?
I think that's my husband.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe he wants to speak.
Maybe he wants to speak.
Yeah, he doesn't use Zoom very often, so he probably doesn't know how to turn on audio. Okay, so I would make a motion that I didn't see this until tonight, but preferred qualifications, Montana DEQ licensed water system operator. But the indented bullet point refers to a specific MCA, and I think that just needs to come out. That has no relevance really in the job description. So I'd make the motion to change that. And also I think I made the error. There was an H in front of AWWA standards, and the H should come out because that's a spelling error. So is there a second to those two changes in 8?
So,
I don't see,
so I'm following what you're talking about. You're talking about the bullet that has the,
The 17.40.208 certified operator, that should come out. That doesn't make any sense to people who aren't in Montana, and it's irrelevant. If they are in Montana, they know the law.
perfect. I thought that's what you meant, but
Yeah. And I noticed that, I think I probably made that error, but that there was an H in front of AWWA standards, and the H is a spelling error.
There's no H
don't-
on mine.
there's no
Yeah.
H in the version I'm looking
Okay.
at.
Okay, so there was on mine. So maybe I made it when I was looking at it earlier today. Sorry.
So you gotta make that into a motion.
Okay, so I make the motion to adopt the preferred qualifications as modified, removing the reference to MCA.
To 17.40.208.
Right.
That's ARMS, the administrative
It's
rule.
a regulation, not a code.
Yeah, well, whatever. It shouldn't be in there. It's nonsensical for people that
Is there a second?
I'll
Second,
Okay,
Second by Director Erpenbach. Further discussion?
Mr. President,
Yes, Director Carey.
certified operator in charge of system, it's all capital. And do we explain the system then? Or is it just out there and they can do whatever they feel like?
Well, I think we just need to remove that whole reference. Because,
Okay, I would be for that rather than just take the MCA off of it.
oh,
Well,
that's what I
that's what
intended.
they mostly want.
I intended that. I just didn't communicate it very well.
So the
I think,
actual motion is to strike subsection under Montana DEQ licensed water system operator.
right.
The whole
Okay.
line.
Better communicate it. Thanks, Doug.
Get Josh and Bo's opinion on that, please.
Well, to operate this, you need to have a license. And right now, we operating under Josh license. So as far as we're concerned, I think I'm not speaking for Josh, but it would be definitely an advantage if this individual had such a license or aspired. I mean, I'm 78 and I came in here part-time, if you will. But if you're looking for a long-term position, ideally this person should be licensed a water system operator. Right, Josh? Don't you think?
I don't think it hurts.
Right.
We're
Well-
not removing the preferred qualifications for license. We're just saying the specific reference. Because
Right.
people will have in their resume, if they have a water system operator license, I'm sure they'll include it in their resume.
Well, we could get applicants from out of state that may not have the Montana licensed
Right.
water system operator, but be capable of getting it.
But you
And
only need one operator, and we have multiple staff members that have an operator license. So that's kind of been a false flag that's been used in the past. When Bo was hired, the job
Well,
description said we
let's-
wanted him
we're-
to have it, and he
let's-
doesn't
let's-
have it.
let's focus on what we need going forward. So,
As long as it's preferred, Jeff. we could
yeah, I
just
think
put
that I agree. The question is, okay,
within 3
so we
months
have
or
a
6
motion
months?
that's been made and seconded before us to strike the specific ARM reference. All
Right.
those in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 Hey,
Aye. All those opposed, nay. Motion
Nay.
passes. Okay. Motion passes. Director Graves was a no. So then the only remaining item then is salary and benefits.
No,
Right.
no, we gotta go back to 7 because we were gonna put in there that they had to do a physical and then we decided to go and check what the physical requirements were before we,
Oh, yeah.
the physical, so that hasn't been put in yet.
So do we need to put it in 7 now that we've adopted the other one?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I have a motion from somebody for that?
We'll make a motion that we add pass a pre-employment physical, including drug screening.
Is there a
Second.
second? Second by Graves, motion by Ellis. Discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion to add the pre-employment physical and drug test to number 7, required qualifications, indicate by saying aye.
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 Aye. All opposed, nay. Motion passes. Okay. Anything else up above? Seeing none, salary and benefits. What do you guys want to do with that?
So what I did was send the data from around the state. The job description for Debbie Melling has a salary compensation of 147,000 to 197,000. And I know we had a number of people that felt that 175 was just really inappropriate for a district our size. Hamilton is probably close. We have about 15,000 residents, 6,000 meters. Hamilton has 15,000 people. Their public works director, who produces water, deals with sewer and does everything else, makes 103. So I personally think we need to bring that down, but I don't have a firm recommendation on what the top number should be.
are we paying our people now?
Bo's getting 110 salary and 20,000 in benefits. But
And
if we
what-
hire somebody that gets healthcare with full family can be about almost 30,000. Retirement would be an additional $11,000. So, and of course, well, relocation is, just a one-time thing. So we may want to even lower the starting point to something like 100 to 100, say 145, because it's just a complete package. There's always a chance that you hire somebody has a spouse that's working and they have access to insurance through their company. So it's the total cost, but I think we can't, I just personally think we can't go to 175,000 and then lump health and dental and retirement on top of it, because we'd be spending more than the city billings plans to spend, because our benefits are way better than the city billings is providing for the director position.
Nobody says you have to pay 175.
I know. But what happens is people see it and then they think, okay, these guys are willing to pay it. So then you're ending up if you don't, I think it's too much. So I would not feel comfortable approving 175. So then if people apply thinking they could get that much, but we don't actually intend to, I think that's dishonest. So I think we should put down a range that we actually might consider paying.
So
The other thing,
maybe that's the reason the city can't fill Debbie's position, is because they don't have a high enough top number.
well, I
That's-
think that's true.
Sometimes you cut your nose off in spite of your face.
What's the top number on her position?
197. But the low number is 147, 331.
And less benefits than we have.
And a lot less. She has no vehicle. She gets just mileage, federal mileage, and she has to keep track of it and turn it in. And she only gets single healthcare benefits. Anything beyond, or she gets a flat amount, and anything beyond that she has to pay out of pocket.
And I don't think there's any disability, long-term or short, no life insurance, I don't think, so.
Well, no, you get long-term disability through the public employee retirement system, and they're in that, but
Yeah.
they don't have short-term unless they pay for it.
I guess I would, if you're gonna include benefits, I think we
Uh-huh.
should start with 100,000.
Okay.
And 155,000 at the peak, because that can be changed as situations change throughout the years.
So is that a motion?
Well, I wanted some feedback on it.
Okay. I'd feel more comfortable doing 100 to 145 max, but
I'm going to make a motion that we change the estimated salary range to a base from 100 to 150.
okay.
Split the difference
Second
and
that.
Okay.
get this done.
I'll second
second
that.
Okay.
Motion by Aspen, seconded by Graves. Further discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, nay. Motion passed. Any further changes to this document?
Oh, I do have one. When we originally wrote it, we had people submitting their application to Frank, and we only had it submitted digitally. But stuff gets so messed up on the email a lot, that we thought that I would recommend that they submit it digitally to Frank and mail a printed copy. And the recommendation from Greg and I would be that they mail it to Associated Employers, care of Brian Peterson. And I talked to Brian today, and he's more than willing to do that. And that's what we did when we hired for Duke's position several years ago. We had the applications turned into a separate office. So I make a motion
Well,
that we add that.
you know, frankly, the postal mail here is getting like Mexico, where they don't have it.
I
So
know,
I really don't think postal mail is wise, frankly. If we're worried about receipt by email, I mean, include a number of addresses, you know,
Just
because
ask
if
them to put a receipt on their
That,
email to us.
yeah, the problem is if we have this deadline and the postal mail's acceptable, we could have something show up on March 20th because somebody got it, dropped it in the mail by 4 p.m. Friday, March 15th under typical
mail. Well, the only reason I thought
mail construction of deadlines.
I
by
thought of
mail.
doing not an or, but an and, because I thought if we did and, between the two, we would most likely not miss anything. But I know that that I've been on Outlook sometimes, and I accidentally I'm trying to move it up, and I move to the right, and it disappears, and I can't find it. So I think it's easy to disappear something on Outlook.
Well,
Nobody-
I'm talking to more people that are very frustrated with the new Outlook 3, the new version of Outlook.
Yeah.
For that reason, it hides previous emails unless you know how to click them with that little cursor over on the left margin. But I don't know that that's a reception issue.
have them send them to me and to Jeff, the president.
Well, or have them send them to every committee, everybody on the recruiting committee. Since
Just
we're
have
signed
to-
up to, and that way nobody has to forward.
And then one of the other recommendations would be to say, acknowledge receipt of this, application.
Yeah, I did that on the audit things. We did get a lot of emails from auditors. Some of them were people that might apply and then didn't, and others were just telling me that they weren't going to apply, but I always responded to just confirm that we got it and to thank them.
Couldn't you just use the board at Heights Water District? And that way every director gets it. And then you all can review it, and then whoever's not on the committee could say, hey, I like this guy. Give him a look, whatever. But that way, if you send it to that group email, you all get it.
Yeah, I don't have
Yeah.
a problem with that.
That'd save
like
us some
that.
time.
Okay.
Can we have a motion? Thank you for the suggestion, Josh.
Yeah. So I'll make a motion that we change the how to apply to send it to send the application information to CWDH board at heightswaterdistrict.com. Does that work as an email
Mhm.
from the outside?
Yeah,
Carolyn can put in the proper one.
Okay.
You can test it. You can test it too.
Yeah, and I'd like to leave Frank's email on it,
Okay.
just so that when he, they know who to look to for a response. He's going to have to
Okay.
check his laptop daily.
Yeah.
So, or his smartphone when I give it to him.
Okay, so I'll accept that modification to the
So we're gonna-
motion.
we're gonna change, we're gonna add the board email address. And leave
After-
Frank's.
And leave
After
Frank's,
Frank's
yeah.
and leave Frank's. Okay. And then, as I understand our motion to add those 3 disclaimers, that would be
Right.
down underneath the how to apply language, correct?
Yep.
Right.
We need to finish the email motion.
Yeah.
Oh, we need a vote on it. Okay, thank you, Carolyn, for getting me on track. All those in favor of the motion to add the board email to the how to apply section indicate by saying aye.
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 Aye. All those opposed, nay. Motion passes. Any more cleanup?
Yep. Well, we got more to add.
Oh,
Uh,
great.
we need a timeline after March 13th.
In this job description?
Well, but it's got to be kind of tied to this. If we're going to have interviews, we might want to let them know that if they're considered, there will be an interview on this day or this day.
Yeah. It's hard to predict, though. I don't think we should do it here because it's hard to predict that we'll actually have people, how many we'll have, if that makes sense.
Well, yeah, I don't think it belongs in a job description. I do believe the committee can work on a timeline and bring that to the February meeting. I can, you've got a committee. We'll make sure you have a committee report. So if you've got a suggestion, you want to have a resolution on that, work something up, and then we can get it handled then.
Well,
That's
and then
still-
also as applications come in, Frank can respond with that information to the people that send applications in.
Correct. So, okay.
Bo has something to add.
Mr. Anderson.
Yes, I'm looking at this job description in my prior life, when I hired managers, they had to propel themselves to work on their own, which means they have to have a license and car. It's not a biggie, unless you furnish a car. Number 2, very important is the proficiency, the knowledge and proficiency in Microsoft product. We put that in our job description, specifically PowerPoint, Excel, Word, etc. And especially with engineer, we test them out, their knowledge. We have engineers that see what they can do. When I came here, there were very few statistical information and spreadsheet. Every day I work on spreadsheets, statistical information on leaks. Do a lot of that work in that budget process. That's extremely important. And of course, the Black Mountain. This individual had to be able to work with all phases of the Black Mountain software. So it's some computer background.
We have technical proficiency identified as a skill.
Okay, terrific. The other thing is job experience. I'm 76 years old. I've been in this business 50 years. I think this individual should be in the water business for at least 5 years or 3 years, whatever it is, but leave it open. I don't think it's a good idea. I think it should be 3 to 5 year minimum.
Yeah, the committee chose to leave that out.
Yeah, that's a terrific idea, Frank.
Well, from my perspective, this is a management job, management and finance. From that standpoint, if I had to choose between somebody who had, better knowledge of water systems and somebody who had stronger skills in terms of managing people and money, I'd probably choose the latter. That's me. And so, for example, the lady I worked with today to try to resolve the um the the problems with the audit contract, which, by the way, is now going to get changed for every local government in the state of Montana due to the fine work of our lawyer. She was telling me her previous job was as a teacher, and she has gone to work, learned how to become a decent auditor, and is really loving her job. So, that people are making, and I think we will see more as AI comes on, to be honest with you all. They're making mid-career changes in occupation due to necessity. So, these silos that we've had, the system of silos we've had in this nation for so long, I think is going to be challenged because we're going to have to in order to provide people meaningful opportunity. So that's my speech for the night. But
Mr. Chair,
yes,
I think the qualifications and everything on here are a good put it this way, the bones of it are there. When the committee goes to question the candidates, they can ask them what their technical literacy is. They can ask them all those questions that we broached this evening on a one-to-one or on a couple-to-one basis, rather than having them get bogged down in what should be a very simple form to say, I'm interested in the job.
yeah,
Yeah.
I like casting a wide net, so I kind of like it the way it is.
Yeah, there's no motion to add that, so.
No, there was not, that's not an ad.
But
Right, no, I know, but Bo's recommendation, nobody
Yeah.
made the motion to add it, so I think we're,
okay, do we have a motion? Are we then ready to adopt this with those noted changes?
I make that motion.
Thank you, Director Graves. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Director Ewald. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion is adopted. So I think,
Now we got to vote on the resolution, pass or fail.
correct, but I want to get Carolyn, I'm going to ask you to to make these changes in the document. And then I believe many eyes catch mistakes, so let's circulate it then to the entire board. Okay, just for a pass through, and then if I don't hear objections, we'll go ahead and get it posted. But let's move to the resolution.
I'll make a motion, we approve the resolution. We already had that motion, we just didn't vote on it.
Right,
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
yeah, we've had the
okay.
motion and the second, I think.
It was
Yep.
just
Okay.
discussion.
Okay. All those in favor of adopting the resolution to adopt this job description for posting and post it as necessary, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay,
Aye. All those opposed, nay. Motion passes. So, okay. I'm going to go back to our agenda. Is there item B, discussion of search process? Committee, I would like you to try to identify 2 or 3 executive search firms to call and see what they might charge, just in case, we get this posted and things are kind of slow and we need to actually be more aggressive in going out ourselves, at least for some options, so you can bring them to the February meeting. No doing the research doesn't commit us to spending the money.
Yeah. We've got a fairly long list. And Greg and I are meeting with a firm from Bozeman tomorrow just to get their background. I left a voicemail for a firm in Snoqualmie, Washington. And then we do have a bunch of other firms. Most of them do not have phone numbers, and nor do they have any information online, really. You most of the time you kind of have to figure out, you have to fill out an online thing and see if they'll call you back. And I filled that out for one firm and they haven't called me back, so we'll see.
Yeah, I had that same when we were putting out the RFQ for engineering firms. That's pretty much the standard now. I would caution you, it may take 48 to 96 hours to get a response. It's like some people aren't checking them once every Monday morning or something. I'm thinking, man, you must have plenty of business. So
we as a committee, we did interview Peak Water Services, and they fill in. They're kind of like a traveling nurse, but only they're traveling managers. And we got a pretty good response from them. So we're waiting to hear if they want to put in for it or what. But
okay. Well, we got some time, so thank you very much for starting. So
I do have a list of things so I'd like to get finalized though in regards to the search and the posting.
Now's the time.
So I think we all agree we want to post with Montana Rural Water. A board member can do that or a staff member can do that. I posted the last time when we were hiring for Duke. I'm happy to do that and unless people are uncomfortable with that.
I'm in favor of it.
Okay. So Jeff, do you want to vote on everything or
No.
on okay. And then we talked about listing with AWWA Montana and AWWA National. That has to be done by a member. And so Josh Clay and Bo are members. So we talked about maybe Frank working with Bo to get that listed right away, because that's something we didn't get done a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And then listing
Mr. Anderson, I'd appreciate your assistance in that regard. Thank you.
And then with the Yellowstone County News, we probably should run it for at least just maybe 2 weeks. I know that because you never know who's going to read it, who knows somebody that, that might apply. So I think it's worth it for a couple of weeks. I wouldn't run it more than a couple of weeks.
Jeff, we just had another person dial in. There's a Vincent.
Vincent Palafox.
Welcome, Mr. Palafox.
Thank you.
So,
I mean, actually, if Carolyn can just send it in, because you just submit it, or the office can send it in. It just has to be in by Tuesday in order to make that week's paper.
I don't know that will do us much good because that's limited. I mean, their point of distribution is pretty much limited to the county, isn't it?
It is, but you found Bo the last time by connections. I mean, I think you never know. I think if you just run it for 2 weeks, it's not too much money. And who knows somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody. It gets it out there.
Okay, we'll need a motion if you want to consider it.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to post the job description in the Yellowstone County News for 2 weeks.
I would say let's limit it to the size of an ad, and it's going to have to refer them to the website to see the job posting.
Okay.
Because we don't want to pay to post the entire thing. It's too long and wordy. It'll cost us way too much money. Not that I dislike Mr. McNiven, but not necessary these days.
When is the start date for the ads?
The
start next week?
Publication deadline is normally Tuesday.
Yeah.
About
I
noon.
think Doug was asking when we're going to get the the description or the applications out or job description. As soon as Caroline gets it sent out and we check it over, what day are you saying that we're giving you okay to post it? Isn't that what you wanted, Doug?
Well, I was actually after Pam's posting in the Yellowstone News. What are we going to do it next week? Or are we going to do it the following week?
That's what I would do. I mean, as soon as we can get it in, if we can get it in on Tuesday, I would run it for 2 weeks and then not again. But just to get the word out, because people do, that's the most widely read source when people are looking at it, because pretty much all the legal notices are in the Yellowstone County News. But Jeff, do you want to work on the formats that you want to restrict it to fewer words?
I would say no more than 6 column inches,
Josh,
and the committee can work on the layout.
Okay, all right.
district website for that job.
After this meeting, there is nothing posted right now.
No, but I'm saying, but
There's an
We have
employment.
it.
we could create a
Yeah,
page.
There's an employment page.
Yeah, after this meeting, we'll put it on there.
Once
Yeah.
we get the final one.
Right.
What I was
Okay.
asking, Josh and Bo is, as far as the ad, if we have a page that we can give the web page so that they can go do it to get the full job description.
You'll need to have a good description in the ad, yes,
Yeah,
of the how to find it. I see more of these ads using QR codes. If anybody can figure out how to do that,
Well, actually, that's not
then
hard.
they can point their smartphone, including Director Ewalt when I give him one, at it, and it'll take you right to the link.
so are you looking for a display ad or a liner ad?
I think it's a display. That's why I said 2 column inches, 2 by 3, which would be 6 column inches. That's how I'm used to buying print anyway, back in the day.
Director Esman. Could you hear me?
Yes, I can, sir.
Yeah. How about LinkedIn and Indeed?
We definitely rejected Indeed. We used Indeed when we hired for Duke, and it cost a lot of money, and we got night managers from McDonald's applying. It just was totally worthless and took a ton of time and a ton of money.
Okay.
Director Graves, did you have your hand up?
No.
Okay.
He's holding his
Holding his phone. Okay. With that grizzly banner behind him. There we go.
They gotta get a new coach.
So we have a motion.
I
I
made the
make a mo-
motion, but
Yeah,
is there a second?
second.
Okay.
Not to get pushy, but you know, I am an old pushy broad.
Okay, all in favor of the motion to buy 6 column inches to post the job listing and information on obtaining the job description in full, indicate by saying aye.
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 All those opposed, nay. Motion passed. I guess I should clarify 2 weeks.
Okay. And I've got another proposal for the Montana Rural Water Conference is in Billings. And
That's not on the agenda.
No.
We can take
no,
that
but
up in
no,
February
because
because the
But I'm
deadline
discussing-
ends.
27th, but I'm discussing it as part of the recruitment procedure. That it seems like it would be valuable for board members to be there so that they can interact with people. We can't get a table, that's closed. But we could attend when there's some valuable information, but we could have 1 or 2 or however many. I mean, Lockwood apparently is sending as many people as want to go from the board. It's $100 to attend and for all meals. So it's a very modest amount. And there is stuff you can learn, although there's an awful lot on sewer. Doesn't
There's
apply
a-
to us.
I read that. To me, the $100 was just for a spouse.
Nope, it's
attend.
100.
300. I just
I
read
thought it was
the other day.
300 ahead. The way
Yeah,
I
it's
read it.
300 if you're getting, no. I called. It's 300 if you're a water employee and you're trying to get your operator certification. If you're just a guest, $100 gets you attendance and meals.
I think the guest was for like the +1. Is
Nope.
what the way I interpreted it. Well, let's
Okay.
research it. We've got some money laying around. We
It's
can
signed
in
up.
the director's budget, so we can discuss it in February. Registration's open till the end of February, so we can take it up at the meeting. But I don't want
Okay.
to debate without specifics known or when specifics are disagreed. Let's do more research. So anything else?
Okay, so I talked to you earlier today. Bo sent out a memo today saying that he was going to post notices on the office windows that nobody could enter the office, which would be a strict no-no. I mean, we can't restrict the public access to the office. Did I misunderstand the memo, Bo?
Once again, yes.
I didn't interpret it that exactly. Where do you want to put the
Well, we
put
have
the
to-
signs, Bo, and then
well,
where
we have
exactly?
doors, back doors here, and there should be signs that can't enter it. And the other thing I discussed with Josh, all our booster stations, there are doors, and we should clearly state that these are not public facilities.
Are they not locked now?
Oh, they're locked, but there is no signs. They're all on the gate. But I also talked to Josh that in case of emergency, we leave our numbers on the building so they can call. If they see smoke coming out of the building or water coming out of the building, etc., in case of emergency. But there are no signs on the doors itself, on the gate, yes.
Okay.
But
Well,
here, we don't have it.
let's do this then. I'm going to ask you, I'll add an item to the agenda based upon this, and then you can bring a specific proposal. Perhaps we need to discuss custom-made signs. I've had them made. They're not that expensive. You can get them made out of aluminum. They're very durable, and not something plastic that the sun degrades quickly. So let's deal with it at the February meeting. In terms of if you need them at the district office, we'll be there and you can walk around and show us where you want them. So I'd rather deal with it properly with preparation and save our time tonight because it's already 7:14.
I have a question though.
Director Graves.
Can he address about the parking lot, please, and the signs there?
Which I missed. I didn't see that as part of them.
What did you say about the parking lot and that? I can't bring that up to read it to you with this conference thing going, but there's more into it.
Is there?
Well, what our intent is to not have our employees, trucks, cars in the customer's parking lot. We want to keep them in the back, and to do that, I have ordered a sign from Amazon to put on the gate where it says stop, no entrance, and I believe it says staff only. So it clearly states you cannot drive in the back in our fenced in area. But we do not, or right now they're parked in front, which is not a good idea.
Well, can't you can't you just get them together tomorrow morning and say, let's park in the back, guys?
No, that we've done that. But what I'm saying is that right now the gate, the sign on the gate says
Service
trucks only, and it's very plain. But this sign has actually a stop sign. It says no entry. And it
Okay.
also says on the bottom, I think it says staff or employees only.
So do we have
The
key
whole
card?
light-
Is that gate controlled by key card access or how is it controlled?
Yes,
Pin.
It is?
yeah,
It's a
pin,
pin.
yeah,
It's a pin number.
but during the
some-
day, it's open.
Well, why don't you change the programming so that, frankly, if it was me and I was leaving my car there, I'd like to have that gate closed all day.
Well, they go in and out pretty much all day. But that could be done. We can have a magnetic card or something.
Well, I think about that. We'll talk about it more at February meeting if you need something from us. I mean, to me, that's kind of a day-to-day item.
No, Pam brought it up. She wondered about the sticker, if we bought the stickers for the window. The answer is yes, we did that some time ago, and they are on the window.
Of the vehicles.
On the,
Yes.
oh, yeah. So that has been done. But at the same time, I ordered also these,
These other ones? Okay.
yeah, for the fence to make it clear. Right now, it's not clear, and I think there's too many car up front for our customer. I mean,
That's it.
and these are big trucks they have, so our
I
parking
was-
lot is not as large as you think, you know.
My pet peeve is an owner who parks out the front door of his business. That space should be reserved for the customers.
Yeah.
Correct.
I've known a number of them that did that, and those businesses failed. So I'm glad you're on that, Bo. Thank you. Okay, seeing no further business before this board, I just want to remind you, if you've got items you want to add to the agenda, try to get them to me by Monday morning, and then I'll try to revise it so we can try to take a shot at actually getting it posted at our target date, which would be February 11th. So enjoy the Super Bowl, guys.
Yes,
Thank you.
Okay.
thanks.
Seeing no further business, I'm going to adjourn this meeting
Thank you.
at
Good night.
7:19 p.m.